So JT, the Gunslinger Daniels, I needed a day and a half to process what I saw on Saturday because it was absolutely incredible. I talked about on Friday before the game, jokingly, just throwing out random JT Daniels stats and what I thought he might do, and I don't think he's going to come out and throw 30 or 40 times and put up crazy numbers. Everybody was, kind of on the same page there. And it ended up being the exact opposite. JT Daniels had to throw the ball 38 times. He completed 28 of those passes for 401 yards and 4 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. Nobody could have predicted this game. Nobody. I mean, if you show me somebody that actually predicted that JT Daniels would have this kind of game, please send it to me. I want to see it. There were people that were jokingly saying, what if JT Daniels comes out and throws for 350 in 2 or 3 touchdowns? Nobody could have predicted that he would have his best game of his career against Mississippi State in his first start ever for UGA. Just an incredible story. I am so thankful that the quarterback controversy, at least for this season, is over with. There is no controversy anymore. Kirby said in the post-game presser, JT Daniels is the starter moving forward. It would have to take something drastic for that to change this season. JT Daniels was out there making throws that a UGA quarterback has not made since Aaron Murray. I like Jake Fromm, and I'm not a Jake Fromm hater or anything like that, but some of the throws that JT Daniels made, Jake Fromm couldn't make those throws. There was several NFL-type throws, huge bombs to Jermaine Burton. George Pickens had a great game. I know Jermaine Burton had 3 separate catches of more than 40 yards, and they might have even been more than 45 yards. It was like 46, 47, 49 yards, something like that. It was just insane. And this particular throw and catch from JT Daniels to Jermaine Burton is the one that really caught my eye. I'll show you here.
The call pushes you back 10 yards. First down at 20, 1:16 on the clock. Over 3 timeouts left.
I mean, really, that is a perfect throw. It was in stride, only where Jermaine Burton could get it. And, I mean, he just led him perfectly and placed it perfectly. Just an absolutely unbelievable throw. Obviously things didn't really work out for UGA in this game the way that we had hoped. It was a lot closer than anybody thought. I mean, Vegas line was like 25 points in favor of UGA. Mississippi State hadn't been able to score on anybody since the first game of the season. And then all of a sudden, everything seemed to be working for them against UGA. UGA was doing the exact same thing that all of the other teams had done since LSU, which I talked about on Friday. To stop an air raid offense, you rush 3 and you drop 8. I did say that on Friday. Seemingly everybody has figured out how to stop Mississippi State on offense. They run an air raid offense. Honestly, the easiest solution is to rush 3 and drop 8. The problem is, and again, Kirby said it in his post-game press conference, is that you play a soft coverage because you don't want to give up the big home run ball, and you don't expect the quarterback to make every single one of those short throws. And that was honestly the difference in this game versus what has happened with Mississippi State in their past games. Is Will Rogers, a true freshman quarterback for Mississippi State, he didn't miss throws. And I realized that, most of those throws were only 5 to 8 yards. He did have several that were longer than that, but most of them were, 5 to 8 yards. but he didn't miss any of them, and that was the big thing. He was hitting every single one. The receivers were catching every single one, and that's the way that the game played out. On the opposite end, Mississippi State loaded the box against Georgia. They were rushing 8 and only dropping 3, which took away UGA's run game completely. The offensive line could not block anybody. It was awful to try to watch our running backs even get back to the line of scrimmage. Mississippi State had 11 tackles for loss, and it hurt to watch, but at the same time, it was also the most excited that I've been in a long time because of what JT Daniels brought to the table. And I was going to come on here and talk about Kirby messing up the quarterback situation, and this is terrible. It was a terrible mistake not playing him all season and everything else. But I've gone away from that. I'm not going to do that. While I don't necessarily agree that he wasn't healthy enough for Florida, because 3 days later he was taking the most first-team reps on the team. I listened to JT Daniels talk, and I saw the story come out from JT Daniels' parents about them praising Kirby Smart for not putting JT Daniels out there before he was ready and putting his health really above everything else. So I'm not going to go down that road. There is no bashing or anything like that. I think Kirby Smart did what he could do in this situation, and I don't know that it even changes anything, because even with JT Daniels in the Alabama and the Florida game, we still lost by 17 and 16 points, giving up over 400 passing yards to each one of those quarterbacks. And really, the main thing that has been worse than the UGA passing game this season is the UGA pass defense. Going into Saturday night, the UGA pass offense ranked 84th in the country. Awful. Terrible. I get that. The UGA pass defense ranked 99th in the country. 4th in rushing. So I don't know that it actually changes the outcome of those games if JT Daniels plays, but that's all hindsight. The season is beyond saving at this point, unless something just crazy happens to Florida. But it doesn't matter. UGA's not getting into the playoffs with 2 losses. So I am absolutely ecstatic to see what JT Daniels does for the rest of the season. I will talk about it more in my upcoming prediction video for this week against South Carolina. And I'm going to do a little something different. I had a friend, another UGA fan, reach out to me on Twitter wanting to come on the show and kind of do a co-host of the show with me. I don't know if it's going to be every video, but it's going to be fairly often. This is going to be the first video where we actually try to do this from literally different sides of the country. So please welcome me in introducing Matt Rimmer. He's going to be on the show with me for who knows how long, and hopefully you guys like him and you like me and you like the collaboration that we have together. Take it away, Matt.
Hey guys, Matt Rimmer here. First of all, Andrew, thank you for having me, sir. I look forward to talking ball with you in the future, especially dog football. There's nothing better in my opinion. Guys, me and Andrew have had some talks and thought that the perspective of an at-home viewer and a guy being at the game would be nice to mesh and compare. And thanks again, Andrew, for letting me put in my insight. Walking to the game and driving down to the game, I didn't expect JT Daniels to pass for 401 yards with an average of 10 yards a throw and 4 miraculous touchdowns. I think the last time a guy thrown for 4 touchdowns, like you said, Andrew, was Aaron Murray in 2013, and I believe it was the LSU game, to be specific. Man, that was an incredible performance to watch. In a game where your defense is not playing well, credit to Coach Leach. A game where your offensive line just can't block any run scheme you put in the system. I saw a lot of inside traps. Those were getting blown up. Saw they tried to go to some jet motion, some counters out of the pistol formation and out of the shotgun formation. Just wasn't cutting it. And having a guy like JT step in and pretty much walk you up and down the field to win that football game is pretty miraculous in my opinion. It's something we haven't seen all year. Like I said, we've lost 2 shootout games because of accuracy and wide receiver issues, drop balls, ineffective route running, but mainly the accuracy issue has been the big problem. Having the strong arm to get the ball, 50 yards down the field and only to where your guy can get it. And I have to say, guys, I think if any other quarterback plays on Saturday night, I think I'm leaving that stadium and we're 4-3. And we just lost to the second or third worst team in the SEC. Once again, credit to Coach Leach for a heck of a game plan they put together. And they really gave us one run for the money. Honestly, it was stressful, but it was fun to watch for a team that brought 49 players. And the minimum limit is 53, and to compete like that, and now, props to those guys. But like I said, having a guy like JT go out and pretty much win that football game for you it is incredible. We've been asking all year, when is it ever going to end? Are we ever going to have a quarterback? How can you recruit top 5 and not have a developed quarterback? We have the number one roster in the nation based off of recruiting 4 and 5 stars, and we're a 2-loss football team. I hate to tell everybody from the beginning, but from the Arkansas game, we were not a national championship team. This is a team that is developing, a team that is growing. But when you watch the Clemsons, the Alabamas, and the Floridas, those guys are off the chart. They were ready from day one. And we're figuring out issues on the week. I mean, we're in week 7 or 8, and we just found a quarterback that was capable of throwing vertical passing game. So if Kirby and Monken and the rest of the offensive staff made the right decisions game by game, maybe Stetson at the time was the best, most mobile quarterback option. But you know what? JT got his time. He beat all of the odds. He surpassed my expectations. I told a friend walking into the stadium, I expected about 250 passing yards and maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns, and for him to get loose behind the run game. And the fact that this guy went out and performed without a run game and pretty much won a shootout of a game, in my opinion, and was really, really accurate, is incredible. It was nice to see. It is way overdue for Georgia football. I'm also a firm believer in a body of work, quote unquote body of work. I love the hype around the kid right now. I think he has the potential to have an incredible future. Like I said, he's got the mobility back. Might not be 100%, but it's there. He's got crazy arm talent. One of the best arm talents in the country. His decision making was the biggest thing for me. Besides the one ball in the first drive that really could have been a pick six the other way, he was pretty accurate, and I think everybody expected to see some rust, and that dropped pick was the first sign of rust, and there's probably more to come against more quality defenses. Not taking anything away from Mississippi State, they have a pretty good defense, and they've got some stout dudes that Georgia recruited in their front 7 and in their back 4. they've got some talented dudes on that defense, deep or not. But I think we need to give the kid time, give him a couple games. Like I said, the body of work. Let's see how consistent he is with the checks, how consistent he is with his decision-making, the mobility. But from what I saw on Saturday night, I know the kid's not going to throw for 401 yards every game, but the kid's got it. I believe in the it factor, quote-unquote, the it factor. I believe the kid has the it factor. It's just, it's up to him to keep it or not. It's a week-by-week basis. I know you guys get tired of hearing Kirby say that, but it is what it is. Week by week and day by day. I think the kid has the potential to be a Georgia great, but time will tell. I will say, though, it was exciting to be in attendance for the JT Daniels breakout party and also the Jermaine Burton breakout party. It's nice to finally have a guy that can get the ball to him and see what he can do. A former 4-star, pretty highly touted, but not the top receiver on the board, has just came out, and I tell you what, he has beaten the odds as well. It was really nice to see, and I really do think we have a bright future ahead. I still think we need to be cautiously optimistic. Just as a Georgia fan, it never hurts to be cautiously optimistic. Like I said, it's a week-by-week basis. But I think JT is your guy going forward. It makes 2021 really exciting because got a big test in Clemson week 1. And you've got to get a guy some reps for that game. You've got to have a guy that's had in-game SEC experience or big top 5 experience or just, playing stout defenses. And I think getting him throughout the rest of the year is gonna be helpful for that game. So, guys, that's it. I went a little longer than I wanted to. Thank you, Andrew, again for having me.
Give Matt a round of applause. It's not easy to do, to come on camera and talk. It's very nerve-wracking. So give it up for Matt. Hopefully you guys enjoy it and enjoy the upcoming shows. And go Dogs.